So Loaf, thank
Hey.
you so much for joining Kazomoto today. You're very prominent in the motorcycling community, been around for a long time. You're also probably more prominent in the Live to Ride community. When did you know you wanted to do photography full-time or as a hobby?
I got into photography at school. Yeah, way back. It was an elective in my year 11.
Mm-hmm.
And back then you had to know everything about f-stops and all your focal length, all your lighting. You had to know. You had to learn all that. So it was good fun. You also learned to develop. And for a little while, one of the social clubs I was in, I ran the magazine, taking photos. It was just a small hobby. Eventually, I got into, as you said, Live to Ride, and there I was able to really start to use my photography again and get right back into it.
So it's a passion of yours.
Yeah. But it's a passion these days that is hard, a lot harder to fulfill. The cameras will do everything for you.
Yeah, that's
nowadays, but you've still got some people out there that are doing some great stuff, and you can see it day by day on Facebook. Like guys like Carl Hensel up in Newcastle, brilliant photographer. He's set up the whole lot, yeah. And it's guys like that make me jealous because they are true artisans in the field.
Right,
Yeah.
you go to a lot of events, you're taking photos. You obviously know a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you're very well recognised, even though you are behind the camera. So I'll give you an example. I went looking, when we decided to do this interview, I went looking for photos of you. And there's not many around.
I know.
No, because you're always on the other side, but you're so iconic to the magazine. So I think that's very heartening for you that you are so recognisable, even though you are behind the camera.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, look, me doing what I do, racing around all over the place, taking photos. It's not very often. I mean, people will come up to me and they'll want a selfie with me or something,
That's right.
And I want to take I take their photo to try and get it into the magazine. There's very few photos of me out there doing my thing, unless it's been just a ride away with the Live to Ride crew when we used to do all those big tests. There's not very many photos of me unless I'm testing a bike or reviewing a bike. And 2006 lowrider, Dyna lowrider. 2009 Dyna Fat Bob. A 1941 EL Knucklehead, and that's 1000cc, not a 1200. I've also got a 1989 electric glide in a million bits and pieces, and a couple of other bikes in a million bits and pieces, unfortunately. I think the 2006 lowrider. I've had her for quite a while. She's still on the road. But before that, I would have said my 1989 electric glide. I think that's my life. Being a motorcyclist, your prized possession is your life. But after that, well, it'll have to be my motorbikes. Or maybe the house, but that's only a garage for the motorbikes.
You are the assistant editor to Live to Ride.
Correct, yeah.
Okay, so how much of your time would be taken up with the magazine?
These days, it's not as much as you might think. As you know, the magazines have changed over the years. There's not as much travelling involved. Basically, like doing some editing, talking to bike builders, liaising with shops, try and get their bikes into the magazine. So, like you might have maybe a full day a week spread across the week itself.
And I suppose it's the event management as well. So you've got to make sure you know when all the events are coming up and things like that to make sure you've got someone photographer. Yeah.
Well, as you know, I don't do many events now. I work Saturdays.
Yeah, that's right.
But hey, look, it's the way life has taken its turn for me.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really glad to be here,
Yeah.
really glad to be working.
And that's a good lead into our next question. Do you think COVID changed the dynamics of the magazine much?
Oh, definitely. It shut down a lot of events that were being organised.
And also, I suppose the magazine sales as well, online subscriptions may have gone up for the magazine because obviously people were looking at it electronically rather than going out and buying it
It,
physically.
yeah. But in saying that, like sort of these days, there's a lot less people buying print magazine.
Yeah.
The younger generation, the 40 and belows, have not really got the buying the magazine tactile feel of a magazine. They don't like to be able to do this,
Yeah, they flick.
It's all flick
Electronic.
on the screen, all electronic.
But I think what makes it special is that you do have that expertise, you do have that experience with the bikes,
Yeah.
and I think that really shows through the magazine.
Yeah. Oh, look, I've been riding Harleys for 40 years, bikes for 47. So, and I love it. I've made it my lifestyle, my whole life. And when I'm not riding a bike, it just doesn't feel right.
Mm. And off the cuff, it wasn't one of the questions we talked about, but what was your first bike?
The first bike, well, I learned to ride at a Honda CT90 because I found a job that you could ride a motorcycle, and that was delivering telegrams or working on
Oh my God,
working for the
telegrams.
post office. Telegrams, yes. How long is it since you've received a telegram?
Yeah, a lot of years.
Today, in the days of email, it's a telegram. People go, "What's that? Wasn't that a newspaper at some stage?" You know.
That's right, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And to think that you used to get messages on a bit of paper like that,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
exactly. Oh, it was a big thing back in the day. Like when a wedding was happening, telegrams were read out at weddings, weren't they?
But you have a skill, you must have a skill in combining your passion and your love, because you did that first, but now you're also doing that with your role here and the position that you have at Size Harley Davidson. So you have a knack of combining your skills.
Well, yeah. Look, well, I did 17 years in the post office, but I ended up working indoors and became a postal manager. So I managed what was known then as a grade 2 office. So we had about like 60 or 80 staff.
Wow.
But I rode the bike to work, and there was one time where we were in. I was working at an office, working at Pennant Hills at the time, and I almost got cleaned up on the way to work.
Wow.
Well, that night I had to go to one of the little. It's like not a chamber of commerce, but it's something along those lines. Local. The local storekeepers sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, one guy looked at me and he said, "Well, I recognise you from somewhere." And I said, "Oh, maybe it was this morning when you cut me off." And he went, "What?" And I said, "I was that big motorbike. On that big motorbike." And he's looking me up and down because I'm dressed in my uniform.
Yeah.
I'm not dressed in the jeans and the t-shirt that I wore.
Yeah, you changed.
All it was a change of clothes. It wasn't a change of attitude.
Yeah. That's fun.
Like sort of everything I've done, I've tried to. Motorcycling has been
The focus.
the biggest part of my life.
Yeah.
My parents hated it. Yeah, sorry, mum and dad, but
Yeah.
hey, look, I collect motorbikes, and my hobby is riding, but that's also my life. That'd be the US again. Of course, doing a 20-day ride or a 30-day ride through the US is a lot of fun. Beautiful people. But just here in Australia, I really enjoyed the ride across to Western Australia. That was grouse. Good people I went across with. It was excellent. I think yes to a proposal. I think that might have been the biggest compliment I've ever received, was a yes to my proposal to my now ex-wife. But and we're still friends, by the way.
So do you find here at Size now in the role that you have, you're meeting
Photographed?
people that you photographed? Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's quite a few come through. I've had a lot of people come in and they're like, yeah, I recognise you from 10 years ago at that bike show, blah, blah, blah. And they go, oh, wow, oh, it is you. Yeah, it's me. Older, greyer, but, still big.
Well, I'm pretty sure, and I'm going to look over to Potsy because it's just popped into my head. I'm pretty sure we got photographed by Loaf.
I would have photographed you at a rally somewhere, I'm sure. Because I did quite a few of the hog rallies and loved it, and did most of them with the the Liverpool chapter, but now Southwest Sydney. So
And you're enjoying your appointment here?
I'm loving it. It's been really, really good. Again, it's me playing in the toy box as far as I'm concerned.
Exactly.
The only problem is like, ooh, will that part fit my bike? And then the bank account's going, what are you doing?
As long as you're not like Potsy and buying bikes all the time, that's probably a good thing.
No, I don't think buying bikes all the time is a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing?
No.
Thanks, Loaf.
Says the owner of 5 motorcycles and another 3 in the shed in pieces.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. But you're doing what you love, and that's great.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm doing what I love, and that's what it's all about.
Yep.
Find something you love. And if you can turn something you love into a job, it's no longer a job.
Exactly.
I've had 2 hip replacements. A rider's life.
Thanks, Loaf.
That's all right.